Hello, I'm back. It's Michael. This is the YouTube rabbit hole, basically, Michael's rabbit hole. Um, we got a huge video or huge song for you tonight. I mentioned, if you've seen my other videos, I mentioned that back in 1980, when I was a kid, the beginning of my music collection came from a company called Columbia House, and a lot of us had Columbia House music. And the way it worked is you got 12 albums for a penny, and then you were automatically enrolled in a subscription service that would send you an album every month, and you could keep it for a short period of time and either buy it or send it back. I believe they sent you a card. If I remember right, they sent you a card that said this is what's coming, and then you could say if you wanted it or you didn't want it. There was no internet, so you had to do it by mail. And so every month you'd get something new. Anyways, the first 12 that I talked about earlier. One of them was Boston. The first Boston album. One of them was Led Zeppelin 4. I'm trying to remember what the other one was that I already talked about. But anyways, one of them was definitely AC/DC Highway to Hell. And so Highway to Hell came out in 1979. That was probably, it was definitely the biggest thing that came out for AC/DC in 1979 in the U.S. Was Highway to Hell. So I didn't want to play Highway to Hell, the video. I wanted to play what I think is one of my favorite songs off that album, and it's really a little bit different than what AC/DC had been doing. And I'll get it started, and then I'll probably interrupt it. But this song is called Touch Too Much. Let's take a look at it. So this was this is off Highway to Hell, the album Highway to Hell. A couple other songs that are on Highway to Hell are If You Want Blood, which is actually the name of the previous album. There's a song called If You Want Blood, and the previous album was a live album that I believe was a combination of songs from different concerts, or a couple of different concerts. But anyways, this video was recorded when they were in rehearsal for one of the live events that ended up on the album If You Want Blood. It may be called If You Want Blood, You've Got It. Great album, great. On the cover is Angus with a guitar, looks like it's stuck through him, bleeding on a white shirt. And that was the album that came out right before Highway to Hell. So there were some songs on that tour that were not released on an album yet. And Touch Too Much is one of those, and that's when this was recorded. So this is classic Bon Scott. This is, maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself if you don't know. This is Bon Scott. He was the lead singer for AC/DC for close to 10 years, I guess. Not 10, let's say 6. And the album Highway to Hell was his last album that he did with them before he passed away. And then they got a new lead singer, Brian Johnson, and put out the album Back in Black, which was a tribute to Bon. So anyways, it's nice to see in this video all of Bon's teeth have been fixed. He broke a bunch of his teeth in a motorcycle accident. He literally almost died. He had a fractured skull. He was wearing a helmet, but he got hit by a car and he went through the windshield. And so he had a fractured skull. He broke a bunch of his teeth out, and some of the older videos you can see those, and you can see here that he's gotten his teeth fixed. I'm not sure when that happened, but this video was probably filmed, I would say 1978, maybe late 77, but I think 78. And then Highway to Hell came out in 79. So he got his teeth fixed somewhere along the way because they had started to make some money. They were becoming a big band, and they were touring around the world even before this album came out, which really catapulted their popularity, especially in the United States, which is where they really wanted to be. They were big in Australia. They were pretty big in Europe, but this album, Highway to Hell, made them huge in the U.S. And unfortunately, Bon only got to enjoy that success for about a year. But anyways, you can see here his teeth are all fixed. So that is a classic Angus Young, kind of a Chuck Berry style, which, bluesy, rock blues style lead guitar solo. You can definitely hear the Chuck Berry influence there if you're familiar with Chuck Berry. And then I interrupted it right here, but it's really kind of a cool point where after the solo, there's this breakdown, and I'm going to back it up just a little bit because it's really cool. So this is one of the coolest things about Bon Scott. I mean, he had an incredible voice, um, strong, powerful, but he also had this goofy presence that playful. I don't mean like disrespectfully. I mean had this playful, kind of campy, kind of goofy. Just really was enjoying himself and not really taking himself as serious as some other lead singers might in some bands. A lot of times, bands try to be a rock star and have a certain attitude and a certain. He just was having a good time, and you can really see that here in this little breakdown. So I'm gonna play it again. Nice.
Moving day means you're in for a bit.
Sorry about that. We don't need to see the ads. Anyways, I don't think I can go backwards. Anyway, that. I like that video a lot. I like that song. It shows Bond's voice. It's a great solo by Angus, and kind of an unappreciated song on the album Highway to Hell. Again, this was one of the. I can't think of that fourth one. Well, actually, there was 12. So I thought maybe I had figured out 4 of them now, and I think I have, but I can't remember the fourth one that I got in the Columbia House first 12 that I ordered. Darn. The Van Halen album. Van Halen 1, Van Halen 1, Led Zeppelin 4, AC/DC Highway to Hell, and I forgot the other one. I know I already said it, but I'll have to write them down. But I'd like to, over these couple of videos, I'd like to figure out what those 12 albums were. And by the way, I got 8 tracks. All of mine were 8 tracks. That was the thing at the time. I could have got albums, but albums you couldn't take with you. And I wanted to take them with me in the car and to my friends for parties and different things like that. So I got 8 tracks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. I really enjoy it. And give me a thumbs up. Tell me what your favorite song is on the Highway to Hell album. Or what's your favorite AC/DC album or song. And I'm definitely going to show you more AC/DC videos. AC/DC was my favorite band when I was growing up. I had the hat, I had the hair, and I wore that hat all the time. For several years I wore that hat. And did book reports, not book reports, but I had to do a report for school, I remember. And they wanted me to do a report on a fiction book. And I didn't like fiction. I thought I could make up my own story if I'm going to read fiction. So I very much wanted to do something on, do some research and do something factual. And fortunately, my teacher approved it. And I did a complete chronological history of AC/DC music from the time the band was put together until the current day, which at that point was probably about this time, 1979. It might have been 1980. when I did that report. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.